Yeah, thanks. So one of the key expectations for me is that over time there would be less talk then and more action. And of course, more action would require having a consensus in the thinking itself. How do we understand climate? Not just from a researcher or a policymaker's perspective, but more from people who are impacted as well. So I think if we could translate these conversations into forms where the connect happens, and then we are able to kind of take whatever information that we are generating to the right sets of people in forms which would aid them in decision making. I think probably that would be the big thing that could come out of this, for which I think having people from various streams coming together and talking and understanding what would it take to go there is possibly the first thing to be done. And I'm hoping that the Climate Week here in Mumbai would make us move in that particular direction. I think one of the key things is, it's quite interesting because Mumbai being a coastal city, and as we know under a climate change scenario, we do have an increasing frequency and magnitude of extreme events, sea level rise, right? So all of it is experienced within one city. Whether it is a heat wave, whether it is a flooding, or whether it is, sea level, sea water intrusion that could happen. I think here is a city which is experiencing all of it, and yet there's quite some action that's happening. Maybe not at the scale that a city like Mumbai would require, but they are moving in that particular direction. So in a way, I think there are certain examples that other cities potentially can emulate, and also think about, how do you integrate it into governance and institutional structures, right? So I think potentially that way I think it does hold significance. And secondly, it's the financial capital. So if something goes wrong here, you're going to feel the ripple effect across the country. So that way, yes, it makes a lot of sense to have it. I think it's really good because let's face the fact. We could have great frameworks, great examples, great implementation possibilities, but without finance, nothing's going to take off. And I think for an investor or a philanthropist, for it to make a business sense, I think we need to be able to convey that. So which is where I think having this conversation with people from the philanthropy, with people from the business, and the researchers who are working in this space together makes us understand what is it that would help them to make that investment. How do we talk about it? That's the key thing that needs to happen here, and hopefully that would happen through these conversations.